big outside the pot. Okay, put the lid back on. It'll bring the water back to a boil much more quickly, and then your pasta will not stick together. So just give it a second, it'll come back to a boil, then you can remove the lid or the pot will boil over. Okay, looking good. Once I get this pasta back to a boil, I'm going to add the lemon thyme to the zucchini and that will be ready. Okay, we're back to a rolling boil. Take the lid off, give it a stir. We don't add oil to the pasta cooking water. We just add salt. Adding oil to the pasta cooking water just creates a slick, and the sauces that you prepare will not stick to the pasta, so you really don't need to add oil to the pasta cooking water. I have some lemon thyme for my zucchini, and lemon thyme or oregano, marjoram, they're on woody stems. What you want to do is hold the end of the stem and just take your fingers and work your way down the stem away from the way the leaves grow, so against the grain. Okay, and this lemon thyme will be a nice complement to our lemon pasta and to our zucchini with shallots and a little bit of garlic. When you're buying fresh herbs, you want to make sure they look nice and fresh. Bring them home from the store, and to get them to last longer, you really don't want to wash them until it's time to use them. Herbs are somewhat delicate. Sometimes the water is what breaks down the herbs. If you washed your parsley and you put it away too wet, it would actually just not last very long. Any greens or produce that you've washed and put away with too much water will break down so much more quickly. It's a great idea to have a salad spinner on hand. Get them as dry as possible, then wrap them in paper towels, put them in a Ziploc bag for storage. The paper towel will absorb any excess water that would break down those greens, and then when the greens need the moisture back, they'll absorb it back from the paper towel. If you store your greens that way, you'll have at least a week to 10 days before they really start looking wilted. Okay, pasta's done. Let me drain the pasta. I'll come back and I'll put the lemon dressing on it. My angel hair is drained. I'm going to pop it into my serving bowl and re-whisk my lemon dressing. Make sure it stays together. Okay, let me grab a pair of tongs and spread this out a little bit. Pour the dressing over it, and I know that I'm going to need most of this dressing for a pound of pasta. Okay. This is also great if you make this ahead and just let it sit. You grab a lemon, and I'm just going to garnish this with a few slices of lemon. Okay, a little more parsley on top. I'm using flat Italian parsley because it's much more flavorful than the curly parsley. Curly parsley might look a little fresher longer, but this really has much more flavor. So we'll just put a few sprigs of parsley on the top so that we have a little extra. We would serve this with tongs, give it a little toss, and it's ready. So let's go on, check on our Cornish hens, and we'll plate everything. Alrighty, the Cornish hens look great. Our celery root is still warm. So let's fix a nice plate. So 1/2 of the Cornish hen on the plate, some of the celery root. This is probably enough celery root for about 4 people. So we'll have extra for another night, which is always good. Leftovers are great. I've had people tell me my leftovers are better than their firsts, which I take as a really big compliment. Some of my zucchini. We have nice colors here. We have red from the Bloody Mary marinade. We have green from the zucchini. And then we have our white from our celery root. And I'm going to take my Bloody Mary marinade, mix it up a little bit, And just put a little bit of that on that celery root to give it a little bit of life. And that's it. So dinner is served. In a very short time, we've made a great meal. All really simple, really fresh, and really quick. So we had a Cornish hen. Cornish hens come in about 3.5-pound packages. They're usually 2 in a package. I like to serve 1/2 Cornish hen per person. Some people actually like to have a whole one, but I think when you're having a big meal, 1/2 of a Cornish hen is probably the right size portion. So we marinate those in our Bloody Mary mix. We had some tomato juice, horseradish, Worcestershire sauce, garlic, salt, pepper. We marinated them about 20 minutes, put them into a convection oven at 425 for about 45 minutes. They got nice and golden brown, as you can see. Convection ovens are great. They have a fan in them. They cook everything much more quickly than a traditional oven. If you're not using a convection oven, you want to cook it at about 450. There's about a 25-degree temperature difference between a convection oven and a traditional oven. The convection oven with its circulating fan keeps the heat nice and even, and when the heat is nice and even, you get this beautiful browning. We had a fresh zucchini that we sliced and sauteed in extra virgin olive oil, some shallots, some minced garlic, salt and pepper. Really quick, really easy. When it was almost done, we added that fresh lemon thyme. A quick tip for using fresh versus dried herbs: if the recipe calls for fresh, you follow the amount. If you want to convert to dry, you use about 1/3 the amount of dry. So the conversion is 1/3 dry equals 3 parts fresh. We also had our celery root puree. We peeled it, cut it up like a potato, cooked it in water. You could also cook it in chicken stock, but I only cooked it in water because I like to maintain that really fresh celery parsley flavor that you get from celery root. Cook it until it's fork tender. Put it in your mixer or use a potato masher. Mash it. It is very fibrous, so it's not going to be quite as creamy as a potato, but it's a really great alternative to a potato. I added a little bit of heavy cream to it just to bind it together and give it a little bit more richness. And then we add a little salt and pepper, put it in the oven to keep it warm, and it was done. Our lemon pasta, we used 3 fresh lemons, about a 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper, some fresh parsley, just whisked all of that together and poured it right over some angel hair. Remember, angel hair cooks really quickly. If you don't have a lot of time to cook, angel hair is a great alternative to longer cooking pastas. Angel hair takes about 4 to 5 minutes. Be really careful not to overcook your pasta. You don't want your pasta soft. It should give a little bit when you bite into it. It should be al dente, means to the tooth. After this meal, you just want a really light dessert. I'm going to do something really quick with some ice cream and a little bit of a chocolate liqueur. Now, sometimes we like a little dessert. I usually prefer having more of my meal than a big, heavy dessert. So I like the lighter types of desserts. Ice cream's always a great favorite. Since I love to cook Italian, I love to buy gelato. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my favorite chocolate liqueur. It's really rich and creamy, and it's a nice way to end a meal, but it's also a great dessert topping. So if you take a look at this, it looks so much like a chocolate syrup, but it's just our grown-up chocolate syrup. Oh, it has a great smell. It just smells like a homemade chocolate, like you've just walked past one of those chocolate stores in Venice. It brings back great memories of Italy because there's such wonderful chocolate in Italy. And this is an Italian chocolate liqueur. I also have my favorite ice cream, which is a butter pecan. So I'm going to pour some of my chocolate liqueur over my ice cream. Oh, it looks so yummy. This, a cup of espresso, what a great dessert. So nice and light, and at this time of year, it's still nice and warm out. I think this would also make a great topping for strawberries. If you want to have a little bowl of strawberries that are really, really ripe and pour a little chocolate over them. A little bit less decadent than a chocolate dipped strawberry. If you don't want to spend the calories on chocolate candy, try a little bit of chocolate liqueur. You'll get that chocolate fix that you're looking for. I'm Barbara Selig Brown. Thank you so much for watching Stress-Free Cooking. I hope you'll join me again soon.
Stress-Free Cooking is brought to you by... From the sunny Mediterranean comes one of the world's finest olive oils for all your cooking needs. Pompeian extra virgin olive oil, classic Mediterranean, and extra light tasting. Pompeian makes everything better. From our table to yours, O-Pee-Chee Wines, fine wines and spirits from around the world since 1913. Cutco, the world's finest cutlery. Melissa's, the freshest ideas in produce. And Sub-Zero Wolf Appliances. Enjoy Barbara Selig Brown's cookbook as she shows you how to make stress-free dishes in the comfort of your own home. Offer made by Stress-Free Cooking for $19.95.